Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Manifest It Finesse on YouTube. My name is Manifesting Gaia. That is my Twitter, TikTok, and podcast. All the links are down below, and my affirmations email is down below. And today we're going to be talking about what you're doing wrong, why your desire isn't manifesting. You've been doing everything, but it's not working. Like, what are you missing? Why aren't your desires moving? You've been stuck for months, years, weeks, days, and nothing is happening. And everybody else seems to be manifesting what you want or manifesting anything, and you cannot even manifest something that you don't care about or a person you don't even care about. I got you. Sometimes, most times, it's that you have the assumption that it's not working or something's missing or that you're not doing enough or what you're doing isn't working. That's literally it. That's it. That's what it is your assumptions that it's not working, it's not moving, it's working for everybody else but you. If you don't think what you're doing is enough or working, then how can what you're doing be enough or work? And going back and forth between putting in effort to manifest, which you don't even need, which you shouldn't even be in that mindset anyways of, I have to do this, this, and this, or I've been doing this, this, and this. More doesn't come from doing more physical work. But even if it did, going back and forth between putting in the effort to manifest what you want and then turning around and saying it's not working, or turning around and talking down on it or down on yourself, saying how hard it is, that is wavering. And we know that nothing manifests from wavering. Because in my personal opinion, I think 90% of what stops manifestations or what stops things from manifesting is wavering. Is you'll do a technique, you'll do something, you'll have positive self-talk, you'll think positively for however long, and then you'll turn around and be like, but it's not working, but it's not here, but everybody else can manifest, but I've been doing it for this long, but it's been this long, but how long will it take, but when will it happen? Or you'll look up how to manifest a specific desire, or you'll comment on every single coach's video, the same comment. Like, you'll just search the ends of the earth to find what you're doing wrong or why it isn't working or how to make it come faster, because that is coming from a state of a person who doesn't have what they want, who it's hard to manifest for. So why would it manifest? And then y'all be so much more believing in that part, in the part where you don't have it, you don't have what you want, than the techniques. The techniques to you are just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna affirm. But then when you guys get in the state of you don't have what you want, it's so hard, it's not coming, you guys are there. Like, that is your dominant state, not what you just affirmed for, not what you visualized for, but that. How could you go to this reality if you are so deeply connected, focused on, attached to the reality with the negative doubts, the negative self-talk, all of that? Wavering just comes from a lack of security in yourself. You do not believe in yourself. You don't believe in your power. You don't believe in the ability for things to change. You're obsessed with the 3D. You're obsessed with the negative 3D. You are not believing in yourself as being in control of your 3D and your 4D. Your 3D is just your physical reality. It's your three-dimensional reality. It's anything you can see, touch, smell, taste, or hear. Your fourth dimensional reality is your awareness. It's where you go when you do the techniques. The fourth dimension is not bound by space or time. So you being in this reality has no effect on your desired reality, has no effect on you getting to your desired reality. I don't care if you want to move here to however far across the world. This has no effect on it. But a lot of you guys aren't there. You're not believing that. That's not set in stone for you. That's not a belief for you. So you waver. You saying I'm doing everything right, but it's not working, literally implies that you don't have what you want. Like, I'm not understanding where you guys get confused. You keep singing praises of you don't have what you want. It's not working. So why would you have what you want, and why would it work? You are the operant power. I don't know how else to say it to you. It's not just what you say. You could sit here and say, oh, I have $1 million all day. But bro, when you see a bill in the mail, you let that little piece of paper, you let numbers on a paper, you let somebody else affects you so much that you're stuck in a state of being broke, not having money for days, weeks, months, dominantly. Like, so it's not about what you say. It's not about the techniques. It's about where you are, who you are being. Because a lot of you guys are like, I'm saying I have money, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel real. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe it. But if I said, okay, repeat, you're broke, you could say it one time and you would jump into that state instantly. You'll be like, I am broke. Like, I have nothing. So it's like, you have to put in the work. You have to work on changing your dominant self, your dominant state. And that takes the effort, that takes the discipline of not allowing what you're seeing to become true. Is not allowing what you're seeing to be true and allowing what you want, what you affirm for, what you visualize for to be your truth. Do you think anybody ever manifested anything by saying they don't have what they want? I'm visualizing for a new car, but it's not here. I'm doing everything to get this car, but it's just not here. Do you think anybody ever manifested by doing that? No. Do you think anybody ever manifested by wavering, by visualizing something and then coming out of it and being like, but it's not here, but it's still taking forever, but I've been visualizing for 6 months and it's not working? No. So if you're doing that and you don't think that somebody who would manifest or can manifest would do that, then stop doing that. Then that's clearly what the problem is. That's what you're doing wrong. Whenever you're doing something, ask yourself, do you think somebody who can manifest this would do it? Do you think I would do it? Do you think I would tell you to do what you're doing? That's wavering. How can you say it's here but then say it's not here at the same time? Like, either it's here or it's not, and you obviously believe more in that it's not here than you do that it's here, because if you didn't believe that it was not here, then you wouldn't even be saying I'm doing it but it's not here. You don't believe it's here. And the 3D is not an excuse. The 3D is not an excuse to be lazy. The 3D is not an excuse to react. The 3D is not an excuse to waver. The 3D is not an excuse to complain. The 3D is not an excuse to say, oh, I've been trying but it's not here. I don't care what the 3D shows. If you're manifesting, I don't care if you're a master manifester or if you're just starting out, nobody's 3D is favorable. That's why we have desires in the first place. Oh, I want to go to the islands. Like, if I was there, I wouldn't have the desire to be there. Like, do I have the desire to film a YouTube video right now? No, because I'm already doing it. My desire has been fulfilled. So when you guys are like, yes, but the 3D, you think people who manifest instantly or who are master manifestors don't have an unfavorable 3D either? They just don't let it have power over them. How does a person who has the exact same desire as you and maybe even the same circumstances manifest it and you're still struggling? Because they mastered themselves. Their security is in themselves, not the 3D. You will never find security in the 3D. You will never find security of your news story in the 3D, especially your news story. Because if I am manifesting good grades, and obviously I'm manifesting them because in the 3D, maybe I don't have good grades, why would I go to the 3D to confirm that new story? If I was going to the 3D for validation or confirmation, obviously nothing would be working because it's showing me the opposite of my desired reality. But I already knew that, because if it was showing me my desired reality, I wouldn't even have the desire for good grades. So why would you desire something outside of this reality and then look to this reality to confirm the new desire? Stop with the 3D antics. I understand circumstances that suck. I'm not saying act like your 3D isn't there, but what does it have to do with your new reality? What does yesterday have to do with today? What does yesterday have to do with tomorrow? What does today have to do with tomorrow? Nothing. Like, you guys don't understand. You are going to a new reality. So it doesn't matter, not because, oh my God, just act like your 3D isn't there, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't have anything to do. Like, if I want good grades and I have bad grades in the 3D, what does the bad grades have to do with the good grades? Why would I focus on bad grades if it's not what I want? Focus on what you want to see. That's why they say pay attention, because your attention is so valuable. Like, you're literally paying the price with your attention. If I want a certain outcome, then I'm going to pay attention to the outcome that I want. Okay, I just got another D on my science test. Tell me what attaching to the D I just got in science does for me. Tell me how that moves me to my desired reality. Like I just said, you gotta ask the question, does this move me to my desired reality? Would somebody who already manifested that be focusing on this, be thinking about this? What would Gaia tell me to do? What would she do? Like, or what would your favorite manifestor do? Like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, those are the times where you gotta ask yourself, like, is focusing on this really helping anything? Does it really matter at the end of the day? If I saw myself with an A in science and I just got back my paper and I failed, whether I got a 70 or 100 on the test, somehow I ended up with an A in science. So if my outcome, this is why I always say focus on outcome, focus on the end. Because if where I'm going is an A in science class, then I don't care if I get 100 on the next quiz or I get a 60. Clearly, I ended up with an A. Why would I mess with the middle? Stop messing with the middle. Stop focusing on the middle. If it's not what you want, then it's not done manifesting. Point blank. So people who manifest what you want and have bad 3D circumstances, how do they still manifest? Is because they've taken away attachment to the 3D. Because like I said, it literally does not affect where you're going. If you were traveling, right? If you were traveling from New York to Los Angeles, let's just say you had to go through whatever state, Louisiana. Let's just say you had to go through Louisiana. Are you going to be like, why are we in Louisiana? I thought we were going to LA while the car is literally moving. So stop like that's just creating problems. What do you mean, why are we in Louisiana? Because we have to go through there to get to our destination. You know that Louisiana is not your destination. You're in a moving car. Whether you can see that what you're experiencing is leading you to your final destination or not doesn't matter, because it is. Stop asking the limiting questions. You're not even there. So if it's not what you want, why are you creating problems where problems don't exist? They aren't attached to their 3D. Number two, they've taken away separation and desperation from them and their 3D, because there is no separation between you and your 3D. What you're experiencing right now is states that you're dominantly in, stories that you're dominantly telling yourself, and assumptions that you believe. So if you know that you created this 3D where you don't have what you want, then what's the difference between creating a 3D where you do have what you want? The 3D where you do have what you want already exists. You're the one who's out of alignment, not the 3D. You cannot sit here and be like, my 3D isn't showing me this. You're the one who's not giving it to yourself. So how could 3D show it? They're not looking outside of anything or anyone to fulfill them, to give them what they want. Okay, I don't need to have a phone call right now from my specific person to know that they're calling me, they want to call me, they're gonna call me, etc. They fulfill themselves with what they want. Most of all, they are sure that what they're doing is working, no matter what it looks like, no matter who is saying what to them. Just like I just said with the road trip example, it does not matter what state you're in or where you are. If you're not at your final destination, why would you let what you're looking at become a negative? And you're the one assigning meaning. Like, you could be in Louisiana on your road trip from New York to LA and either make a negative story like, where are we? This is not LA. Or be like, bro, like, we're literally on our way to LA. We're 10 states down, 12 more states to go. Like, that's how assumptions are created. Like, you assign meaning to the things you're seeing. And if you're not attached to the meaning, and if you're not seeing separation, and if you are fulfilled with what you want, then the meanings are always going to be positive. What your 3D looks like has nothing to do with the progress you're making. What your 3D looks like has nothing to do with the progress you're making. I don't care if you look out the window and you're Louisiana, that has nothing to do with the final destination. Like, that does not affect where you're going at all. So those 3 points, that is what self-concept is. Self-concept is all of that. Focus on yourself. Build security within yourself. See things as always working in yourself. Stop letting the 3D affect your progress. Like, that is all self-concept. That is why I talk about it so much, because that's literally the foundation of manifesting. Focus on yourself. Focus that there is no reality outside of you. The house, the job, the promotion, your health, your parents, none of that is bigger than you. Your bank account, none of it is bigger than you. None of it has more power than you. Those things already exist in a manifested reality. You're the one who's out of alignment. So stop blaming the 3D for your lack of work. You cannot sit here and say, oh my God, my bank account doesn't look any different. Yeah, because you're not fulfilling yourself, because you keep focusing on the negative bank account, because you keep telling yourself negative stories, because you keep wavering, because you'll do a technique and then say it doesn't work, because you keep asking, why isn't it working? Because you keep comparing yourself to people who have manifested it, when people who have manifested it were never comparing themselves to anybody else, because you're focused on everything else but fulfilling yourself. The 3D reality is a projection, okay? It is not its own entity. How are you mad that the TV is projecting a movie that you chose? And then when you refuse to change the movie, you blame the TV and say, the TV isn't working, it's not showing me what I want. The movie is your state, which you're always in control of. You can choose to stop it, you could choose to entertain it, like, you could choose to change it. So 2 steps to fix what you're doing wrong. Well, first of all, most importantly, get out of the 3D. The 3D is powerless. If you feel powerless to your 3D, or if you feel powerless to the people in your 3D, you need to work on your self-concept. There is no other solution. There is no other way. There is nothing else that will make you, I don't care if your desire shows up today, you'll lose it because of your lack of self-belief in yourself. You don't think you're worthy of good things. You don't think you're worthy of a good reality. You don't think you're worthy of a good 3D. Secondly, stop complaining. Stop the negative self-talk. Stop blaming other people outside of you. Stop blaming your circumstances. Stop blaming who said what 6 years ago. Stop blaming time. Stop complaining. Stop blaming. Stop doing behaviors that infer you don't have what you want. Stop stalking your SP on social media. Stop checking your messages. Stop checking your bank account. Stop refreshing your emails. out of desperation. Keywords, you're doing those things out of desperation. Because don't ask, well, what if I have to? What if I have to check my bank account? Then do it with positive self-talk. I love when I check my bank account. Every time I check my bank account, I get money. What if I have to check my messages? If you were just checking your messages, SP wouldn't even be on your mind. So stop lying. Let's take accountability and do it with positive self-talk. Like, what? Like, of course they messaged me. Why wouldn't they message me? Oh, what if I have to check my emails? Of course the job reached me back. You don't seek something that you're not even being. Oh my God, I have to check my emails. Oh my God, the job didn't email me back because you wasn't even in that state. Like, the answer is right there. It's your lack of change. You have not changed, so why would your reality? And you wouldn't have to look for it. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to look for it. If you find yourself having to go look for it and then complaining that it's not there, your self-concept sucks. You don't look for your desires, they come to you. Which leads me to live in the wish fulfilled. You waiting for the 3D to conform before you change is like waiting for a movie that's on pause to play without you doing anything. It's not going to happen. You could wait for years, your whole lifetime, and it will not happen. Your desires should not be the center of your life. You should be. And if you understood, like, not just surface level, but really grasp the idea that your desires come through you and your conception of yourself, you would never focus on anything but yourself for the rest of your life. You would never focus on anything but how you feel, but what you're thinking, but what your state is. If you really understood, if you really cared, if you really understood. Because people who are still blindly checking 3D, focusing on 3D, all of their problems stem from the 3D, they're not understanding. You're just not understanding. It's about you. It's not about what the 3D is showing. 3D is powerless. You give it power because you have no sense of power within yourself, and that's your problem. You already have your desires. A higher version of you who has already worked through your mess has your desires. So there is no separation. Stop seeing it as something where it's like, oh, maybe in 3 years I would have doubled my income. There is no in 3 years. Time doesn't even exist. Like, if you don't do any work on yourself and 3 years comes, you'll still be in the same place because you're still the same person. It is about you. It is about you. It is about you. It is about you. It's not about time. It's not about 3D. It's not about this person. It's not about somebody who has to give you something. It is about you. It is your reality now. That's what wish fulfilled is. I'm not waiting for time, or maybe God willing my reality will change in 3 years. No, it's changed now. What are you waiting for? It has changed now. It has changed now. It has changed now. So self-concept, stop saying you don't have what you want and stop complaining, and wish fulfilled. And that's what you should be focusing on if you want your desires, if you want results, all of that. Make that normal instead of it being foreign. You guys have to do this stuff with intention. Stop doing affirmations and then being like, all right, yeah, but look at my 3D. Flip that. Okay, that's my 3D. But guess what? I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I'm amazing, I'm in good health, I got my raise. That's what it should be, not the opposite. And if it's the opposite, you have a problem. Self-concept, stop complaining, stop saying you don't have what you want, and wish fulfilled. Stop acting like your 3D is set in stone. Stop waiting till you're stressed from bills to start affirming for money, or to start acting like you actually care about what your reality looks like. Do it with intention. Do it because you want to be better. Do it to untrain your mind from focusing on your undesired reality, focusing on the 3D, giving power to your 3D. Create security within yourself and be the change you seek to experience. That's it. And with that being said, that is all for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, you can have anything you want in this universe. Nothing's too big, small, wide, or expensive. I believe in you. You should believe in you. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.